Hi, my name is Chris Doling, and I'm doing a review of the Artsy Portable Watercolor Paint Set, versions 38 and 42. One was given to me as a present, and the other one was given me as a review sample by Artsy. Full disclosure, although I'm a professional illustrator, I usually work digitally from beginning to end, and I'm not what you'd call a professional watercolor artist. But I do find it a valuable exercise to keep a physical sketchbook. And these watercolor sets are a great way to add color to my sketches, especially if you need a portable solution. In fact, if you need a really portable way to add a versatile array of colors and quickly to your sketches, these two sets are the best I've found. So first I will show you this first design, kind of what I'd call a jackknife sort of a situation, where you have multiple color cakes that are all lined up on these different blades, which fold out. And you can also see that the last blade is a kind of a mixing tray. It also has a color sponge right here for taking water out of the brush and helping to clean your brush. And there's also an interesting little bay here to keep one of your brushes. It comes with this medium standard brush and a fine tip brush, and a brush for wide applications. As you can see, there's a reservoir inside here for keeping water, and which is also the way the brush works. The water actually moves through this tip and into the brush, so that you don't ever have to worry about dipping the brush in a cup of water or what you would do with a traditional brush. Now that set was the 42 because it had 42 color cakes in it. This newer one, newer to me anyway, is the 38 because it has 38 color cakes. This version is what you might call, if you're a graphic designer, an accordion fold. So you can actually lay it out flat like this, and it has a mixing tray on this side and the sponge also, like the last one, for cleaning your brush in between colors, and the tray is for mixing your colors while you're painting. In case 38 colors isn't enough, you can mix up new ones over here. In the back is this feature that I find nice. It's this little ring, if you can see that, and I like to put my thumb through it, meaning that now I can hold this whole palette in one hand. The blades kind of lock together in strategic places so that you can kind of keep the whole thing flat and stable. And what I find valuable about both of these setups is the ability to add a large number of colors quickly to a drawing or to a sketch, using just, while you're holding this in your hand and then this in your other hand, and then maybe you can have your sketchbook in your lap or on a table. So it takes up a lot less room than a lot of other solutions. Like some may talk about, well, why don't you use markers or colored pencils? And those are wonderful tools for illustration and for drawing. But if you're in a situation where space is an issue or time is an issue, if you're just trying to work on a sketchbook and do something fast, these will get the job done, I think, a lot quicker. So let's talk about comparison between the two. The 42 is called the 42, as I said before, because it has 42 colors. It has a few well, that's one of its advantages. And another advantage that it has is this little side bay that is good for holding a brush. But you may or may not find that as useful, since both sets come with the same 3 brushes. So at some point you're going to have to put the brushes down or store them someplace. So I don't know if it's a huge advantage to have one brush stored here, but it does kind of give a nice, kind of grab and go situation if you just want to stick the brush in there and then pick up your sketchbook and then move on if you're on an airplane or a bus and you need to pick up and move quickly and not gather up all your supplies. And these are all situations where you may find both advantages or disadvantages depending on your preferences. You may either like the convenience of being able to have just one color out at a time to draw, from with your brushes, or you may find that kind of a disadvantage if you if you think it's fiddly just having to move these things in and out again and again. Which brings me to the 38 set. So it has 4 colors less than the 42. You may see that as a disadvantage, although I don't really see it. Looks like a pretty complete palette of colors that you would need for doing quick sketches. It has a few different colors, I think, also than the 42, such as this one and this color here. I don't see it as being a huge disadvantage. And if you are someone who likes having all the colors at immediate access to the brush at all times, then this was obviously probably the better choice for you. Other components seem pretty much identical, such as the mixing tray and the sponge. And again, it does come with the same 3 brushes. So I thought I would show you a quick demonstration of the paint set in action, since I've shown you a lot about its physical features, but not about the actual quality of the materials themselves. Again, full disclosure, I'm not a professional watercolor artist, so I haven't done a lot of other watercolor work, and I'm not really equipped to give a critique of the quality of the color and everything, or the way the brushes work, but it works really well for me, I've found. This is just an ordinary sketchbook, regular weight paper, and it buckles a little bit when it gets wet, something you should know, but it's not something that bothers me for just keeping a sketch journal. So let me go ahead and get started. As you can see, again, there's a water reservoir inside the brush, so I don't have to worry about having a cup of water or anything else here to dip the brushes in. So I will gather a little bit of this kind of gray-blue color here, and I will apply it to the body of this bat and spread it around, just around this dark area. And I'm not even sure if I'm doing this right, but I'm thinking that I can also gather some paint here and squeeze the brush just a little bit and add some to this mixing tray. And then if I wanted to add another color, oh, and I should also demonstrate that's how you clean out the brushes. You just squeeze the brush a little bit and some water comes out. And eventually you can dab it off and wipe it either on, if you don't want to use the sponge, you can use a paper towel or something off to the side, but the sponge is pretty functional for that. And then you kind of clean out the brush a little bit until no more color comes out. And then on the palette, you can grab another color, like let's say I wanted to add some green, so I'll add some green to this. And I will mix some of that over here, and it kind of makes this muddy green color like that. And I'm not actually sure where I would use that in my drawing, so I will flip over just to my cover on some random doodles, just kind of show you that color there. I'll squeeze a little water, so you can kind of see there how it works. I'm pretty happy with the results. I've been able to do a few decent sketches with it so far. Well, actually, I haven't really done too much sketching using this one, but as you can see here, I'm pretty happy with the way that the color works. The other sketches I have, which I'll show you in a minute, were done with the 42. The first 2 sketches that I did with these watercolor sets were inspired by Andrew Peterson's YA novel trilogy, The Wingfeather Saga, also available on Amazon. So that's this one. And this one. And this one is this kind of cyborg surfer guy that I sketched while I was on vacation at the beach, which kind of shows you how portable of a situation these watercolor sets can give you. This also shows what kind of work I like to illustrate. And if you'd like to see some more of my finished work, you can visit my portfolio site at chrisdillustration.com. Thank you for watching this review, and I hope it helps you with your purchasing decision.